Hey everyone, welcome to Meeple Bits. Thanks for joining me today. Welcome to the city of Machi Koro. You've just been elected mayor, congratulations. Unfortunately, the citizens here have some pretty big demands. Jobs, theme parks, a couple of cheese factories, and maybe even a radio tower. A tough proposition since the city currently consists of simply a wheat field, a bakery, and a single dime. Armed with your trusty die and a dream, you must grow Machi Koro into the largest city in the region. You will need to collect income from developments, build public works, and steal from your neighbors' coffers, just to make sure they aren't doing the same to you. Machi Koro, a game originally published in 2012, designed by Masao Suganuma, published by IDW Games for 2 to 4 players, with a playtime of roughly 30 minutes. So join me as we go through a setup and playthrough of the game Machi Koro. Hey guys, welcome to a setup and playthrough of the game Machi Koro. As a reminder, this is going to be the base game of Machi Koro, not including any of its expansions. So while I'm going to go through the instructions and play it when I do the play turns as a 3-player, I've only got so much table space today, so I'm only setting it up for what looks like 1 player, but let's imagine that off camera there's 2 other players. So before we begin, let's take a look at the components so that we know what we're working with. We've got a play area of cards that are going to kind of act as your actions and resources. So that's how you're going to earn your income and the things you're going to construct. There is the main stations. I forget exactly what they're called. I think they're called like landmarks or something. So you got your 4 landmarks here. The train station, shopping mall, amusement park, and radio tower. And that's the winning condition. The first player to build all or to construct all 4 of these by paying their cost and turning them to active is the winner. So let's go ahead and take a look at what the playfield looks like. Or I guess let's look at first the landmarks in depth a little bit more. The train station, when activated, you may then roll 1 or 2 dice, your choice. When you activate the shopping mall, each of your cafes and bread establishments or food places earn 1 additional coin. The amusement park, if you roll doubles, you get to take another turn after this one. Now, only when activated. And then finally the radio tower, which is the most expensive cost. Once every turn, you can choose to re-roll your dice. Now let's take a look at the playfield. The playfield, starting with 1, 2, 2 and 3, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6, 6, 6, 7, 8, 9, 9 and 10, 10, 11 and 12. What that looks like is your wheat fields, your number 1s here. When you roll a 1, you're going to get 1 coin from the bank on anyone's turn. The ranch, get 1 coin from the bank on anyone's turn. So the ranch and the wheat field are the same, just do you think more 1s or 2s are going to come up? The bakery, get 1 coin from the bank on your turn only. The cafe, get 1 coin from the player who rolled the dice. Convenience store, get 3 coins from the bank on your turn only. The forest, get 1 coin from the bank on anyone's turn. The TV station, take 5 coins from any 1 player on your turn only. Stadium, get 2 coins from all players on your turn only. The business center, trade one landmark establishment with another player on your turn only. Cheese factory, get 3 coins from the bank for each livestock icon establishment that you own on your turn only. Furniture factory, get 3 coins from the bank for each cogwheel establishment that you own on your turn only. The mine, you'll notice this cogwheel up here. Get 5 coins from the bank on anyone's turn. The family restaurant, get 2 coins from the player who rolled the dice. Apple orchard, get 3 coins from the bank on anyone's turn. And then 11 and 12, the fruit and vegetable market, get 2 coins from the bank for each wheat establishment that you own on your turn only. So you'll notice here that the cards in blue, you'll get the coin from the bank on anyone's turn. The cards in green, you'll get the coins from the bank on your turn only. The red cards, so your cafe and your family restaurant, this is you get coins from the player that rolled the dice. And then the purple cards, and I'll go over those in just a minute, but you can only own one. The purple cards, you take it from a player of your choice on your turn when you roll that number. And the last component is the dice. We have 1 and 2 dice. So to set up the game, you want to deal out to each player 1 wheat field and 1 bakery, as well as one of each of the landmarks, the train station, the shopping mall, the amusement park, and the radio tower. Once all players have a wheat field and a bakery, as seen here, and their 4 landmark cards, set up the play area as shown here. 1 through 4 on the top row, 5 through 7 on the second row, and 8 through 12 on the bottom row. So you should have a 5x3 grid. Lastly is going to be your currencies. So we've got currencies of 5s, 1s, and 10s. And this is what you're going for. These resources, it will allow you to then construct the different areas to build out your tableau on your way to activating your 4 landmarks to victory. So what does a play look like? On your turn, you're going to roll the dice. 1 if you don't have the train station active. If you do have this activated, then you may choose to roll 1 or 2 on your turn. Once you roll your dice, you're going to resolve the income and then choose to do any level of construction. Example, on my turn, I would roll this dice and I've rolled a 4. I don't own any 4s in my tableau currently, so if anyone else around the table did, here's the convenience store. So if a 4 gets rolled, then a player that owns a convenience store will get 3 coins from the bank on their turn only. So in this case, since I rolled the 4, or here we go, since I rolled the 4, no one else gets paid. And that's it. Everyone's going to go through, take turns, until one player has activated all 4 of their landmarks, at which time the game ends. Now, some things can happen, so one caveat is how to resolve certain things when they come up. So in the cases when multiple things get activated on a single roll, you're going to resolve it first by activating red establishments. So the player that rolled the dice, you're going to activate first red if they own any to get 2 players from whoever rolled the dice. So if someone around the table has, say, a family restaurant and a 9 was rolled, then they're going to first take 2 coins from the player. Next is going to be green and blue. So in this case, there's no green that it can activate on a 9, but this mine could activate. So the player that rolled the dice, let's say it was this person, would first pay out 2 coins, then they would collect 5 coins. So if the player didn't have 2 coins, then the player that had the family restaurant would not receive money. And then this person would get their 5 coins and not have to pay anything out. And then lastly, you're going to resolve any purples, which is to get coins from a player on your turn. So this, in a 9 situation, that wouldn't happen, but that is the order of operations. And then lastly is with these landmark icons here, so they got the little tower in the upper left-hand corner, there we go, you can only own one of them in your tableau. So you must make a decision if you want a TV station, a stadium, or a business center. So TV station, take 5 coins from any player on your turn if you roll a 6. The stadium, get 2 coins from all players on your turn if you roll a 6. And then the business center, if you roll a 6, you can trade out one of these establishments for with another player. So let's say you had this business center, but you wanted to trade it out for something else. Then you could swap this with another person. And that's it, guys. So quick recap. Players are going to roll dice, they're going to earn income from what they own in their tableau, and then they're going to choose to construct. So I would take any currency that I have on my turn and choose to buy any of these cards. The purchase price is in the lower left. So, example, this furniture factory costs 3 coins to purchase. The number at top is the number that gets activated for this card. Deal out every person a wheat field and a bakery. You'll notice that these are starting cards because they do not have a cost in their lower left. And then deal out each person one of each of the 4 landmarks. And that's it. You're ready to play. So let's go ahead and dive in and take a few turns and a couple of rounds just so that you guys can get an idea of how a few turns get played. So let's dive in. So as always, I'll be the starting player, and let me go ahead and bring the money into view here. There we go. So we got our 10s, our 5s, and our 1s. Ignore that one. It is for one of the expansions, which we're not covering in this video. So on my turn, I can only roll 1 die. I can choose either one. So I can only roll the 1 die because I don't yet have this activated, the train station. So I roll the 1, and I get 1 coin from the bank on anyone's turn. So I would take then 1 coin from the bank, put it into my stock. But on this same turn, because everyone has the same starting cards, everyone would get 1 coin. So the player 2 and 3, they're off camera right now. And then now I can choose to construct. Now I only have the 1 coin. So what can I buy with this one? Well, I can buy a wheat field, a ranch, or a bakery. You know, I might need to build out some of my stock a little bit more. So let's go ahead and spend our 1 coin, put it right back into the bank, and then build a ranch. Just go ahead and set it here. And if you get a little bit of a glare, and if you get multiples, just stack them on top of one another. So if I were to purchase another ranch, like so, then I would just stack it like that. And there are a finite number, so once they're gone, there's no replenishment. Okay, so now player 2's turn. They're going to take the die, they're going to make their roll, and they rolled a 5. They don't own any 5s, but they did get 1 coin from the bank on player 1's turn, so they also have 1 coin, and they're going to spend this 1 coin and get a bakery into their tableau. So now they have 2 bakeries into their tableau, and they are stacking, which means that that player would get 1 coin from the bank if they were to roll a 2 or a 3 on their turn. So now they've constructed. Now it's player 3 turn. And they rolled a 4. They also don't own anything. They don't want to yet spend because they want to try to get a convenience store. So they're going to try to hope that another player can get them another coin. So they're not going to construct on this turn. No, nothing to pay out. So back to player 1. Player 1's going to make a roll. That was a 5. Nothing to do. The player has no money, so they can't really purchase anything. Now player 2. A 6. Same situation. They can't do anything. They've already spent their money. Player 3. A 3. Okay. Now they do have 1 coin, so they'll get on their bakery 1 coin from the bank. So now player 3 has 2 coins in their currency. And they do want to construct. So they're going to take 2 coins, put it right back, and then build the convenience store that they wanted to build. So now they've got a wheat field, a bakery, and a convenience store. Okay, back to player 1. A 4 doesn't help them, and since it's a 4 and it's green, it's on your turn only, which means player 3, who did buy the convenience store, does not yet benefit from that. Still no currency, nothing to build. Player 2 rolls a 1. That means everyone with a wheat field is getting paid. And since everyone starts with a wheat field, everyone's getting paid. So they've got 1 coin. What do they want to construct, if anything? They've got a bakery, and they've got 2 of them already. Let's say they want to build another one. So they're going to do that, and they're going to build another bakery to try to triple down, I guess, on whether or not they're going to roll a 2 or a 3. Now, back to player 3. They rolled a 5. Nothing gets paid, no one owns a forest. They've got 1 coin, but they're going to sit on it. Player 1 again. A 4. They didn't own a convenience store, so it doesn't help them. But you guys get the idea. So you're going to continue going around and round until you can get enough currency to then eventually, let's say I save up 4 currency, and I can activate then the train station. Now I can start actually building out into the 7, 8, 9, 10 area, because all of these cannot be accessed unless you can then roll the 2 dice on your turn. Like so, a 7. So if someone owned a cheese factory, as an example, then they would be able to get paid. So that's it, guys. That's Machi Koro. Pretty straightforward, very simple, easy to learn, easy to kind of dive into. And as you can see, the turns can go pretty quickly, especially early on as you're just trying to build up your currencies. So I'm going to go ahead and tear things down, and stay tuned for my afterthoughts. Thanks so much, guys. Hey everyone, welcome back. I hope you enjoyed that setup and playthrough of the game Machi Koro. So again, this game was originally published in 2012, and I think you can probably find it on store shelves on a discount, usually running around $25 or so. So keep that in mind. So Machi Koro, let's dive right in. This was one of my first of its kind. I know there's others out there, but this one I was introduced to, and I really enjoyed it. You know, I thought it was a really neat kind of resource builder, if you will. You know, managing your currency to try to get the luck of the die to go in your favor. I thought it was a lot of fun. The components. The components in the game leave a little bit to be desired. I'm not a fan of chit tokens for currency. They're kind of hard to handle, things like that. But otherwise, you know, the artwork is neat. You know, it's very playful. It definitely works with this style of game. So that is definitely in the plus column. A reason why you might want to add Machi Koro to your collection. Well, it's a pretty simple game, as you guys may have seen if you went through the whole playthrough or the whole how-to video. If you just happened upon this one for the review, well, you know, it's a definitely straightforward, easy game to get into. Some of the cons, I guess, as to why you may not want to add it to your collection is because the early going can be a little slow to get moving. So you start off with a 1 and a 2, right? So you've got your wheat field and your bakery. And on a 6-sided die, when you're coming out, you need a 1 or a 2 to get rolled. And certainly odds are relatively even for the most part, but it can really slow the game down quite a bit if 1s or 2s are not hitting, especially the 1s where everyone on the table is getting paid early on. The other reason why I may not want to recommend the base game of Machi Koro, I know the expansions kind of fix this with a different drafting style, randomize it a bit, but in the base game alone, there's, I don't know, what I determine to be a single winning strategy, and that is stock up on, I think it's the cattle, the farms or whatever, and then get the factory, which is a 7. 7s have the largest odds on the die, so if you hit a 7, then and you've managed to get, say, 3 or 4 of those cattle manufacturing plants or whatever they are, you're getting paid out 20 to 30 coins on that one roll of the die. Now, keep in mind, you have to be the one to roll that 7 for it to really hit that payday, but that kind of singular strategy works almost every time. And unless someone kind of steps in and thwarts you, then it can be a little frustrating. So that kind of degree of staticness to the board distribution is what frustrates me about this game and why I would definitely not recommend it at its base. In addition, there are 2 other games in a similar field that I would just recommend much more: Splendor and Gizmos. These 2 games definitely overshadow Machi Koro by a pretty large margin, both in its balance and its randomness and its different paths to victory. So while I do have some positive things to say about this one, guys, because
It was a lot of fun, and I've introduced a couple players to it, and it's very easy to pick up and get into. So if you know someone that's looking to kind of get into board games, or you want to open them up to a different style or genre of games, this is something that's pretty easy. Definitely also for the younger crowd, because again, you're just rolling a die and then maybe rolling two, so there's a little strategy involved. But overall, guys, if you're looking for a game in this style, kind of resource management, drafting, resource generation and drafting and things like that, I would go with Splendor or Gizmos, or even both of those over this one. So anyway, guys, that's all I got really to say about Machi Koro. Not a game that's going to blow you away by any stretch, but certainly fun to get to the table a couple of times, here and there. But if you happened upon this video and you enjoyed the content, please leave a like. Feel free to give a subscribe. Definitely appreciate all the support, guys. Until next time, thanks for watching.